Profiting off of your hobbies. Let's break it down. Today's video, I'm actually really excited to do because it combines two of my favorite things, streaming and also I love D&D. I love playing it. I love everything about it. I love the dice. I think we can all agree that like collecting the dice is one of the best things ever about D&D. It's bad, right? It's so bad. There's no reason to always have this many dice, but you need them. Or at least I do. I don't know what that says about me. So today's video, I wanted to talk about D&D, but more so my concern with turning the hobby of D&D into something for profit. I'm using this video to talk about something as a streamer, a question you should be asking yourself when you first start off. So that's one. Two, I'm using this video because tomorrow, Saturday the 8th at 4 p.m., you can catch me playing D&D with 5 of like some of my best friends. Link in the description for all of them. You can catch us starting episode 1 of our campaign Into the Darkness. We did this as like a one-shot because of a charity event. People loved it. So now we're doing a full-fledged campaign and I'm really, really excited. But that is why I wanted to talk about this. As I mentioned in the beginning, profiting off of your hobbies. As streamers, at least more so, I preface this with, this is my experience because I do variety streaming and whatnot like that. So it might be a little bit different depending on the type of content that you're making and whatnot. I had huge concerns about wanting to do D&D on stream. Dell and Internet, they asked me to join if I wanted to join in on the charity event stream that they did. It was a one shot. I was like, yeah, of course I can do a one shot. No problem. I'm happy to do that. And people loved it. So it became a serious conversation about, do we start a campaign? And I felt, and I'm not sure about everybody else that was a part of the campaign. Maybe they had some of these concerns. I was really worried about wanting to play D&D on stream. I've already taken one of my hobbies and turned it into a like for-profit thing. I've taken gaming. For the longest time, gaming in general was my way to relax after a hard day of work. It was my way to escape the world. And I turned it kind of into a job. While streaming and all of that never feels like a job, it's still classified as a job, right? I had concerns about doing that with D&D. I really break it down, at least from breaking it down for me. I don't have a lot of like outside hobbies anymore. And I don't know. I feel like we've all been pressured to like, how many times have we walked into like with family or whatever, and they're constantly like, oh, what are you up to? And you talk about like, oh, I do this. I'm like, oh, can you make money off of that? There's this constant push to take all of your hobbies and make money out of it. I had that concern with doing the D&D campaign. I'm not gonna lie. I felt kind of weird, honestly, because we were in a message thread and everyone was so like, yeah, let's do it. And I had to actually sit down with myself and figure out if I wanted to do this. There were the concerns, like I've mentioned, of what happens if I take this away from being able to relax with this game. I have a home game that I'm involved with my partner Mia and then a couple of our other friends, which that's been my way of relaxing from stream. I don't stream that. I don't do any type of like marketing for it, anything like. I talk about it on stream occasionally, whatnot like that. But that is my off stream, I'm going to relax activity. And here I am yet again, potentially turning, not even potentially because it's happening, turning a hobby of mine into like a money-making situation. There were multiple conversations with Mia where I sat down like, I don't know if I want to do this. Not because of the people involved. And I'll touch on that in a little bit, where that was one of the huge reasons why I did go forward with this. But I sat down with Mia and I was fully just I don't know if I want to do this. This is supposed to be my escape. It's supposed to be the way I relax. It's supposed to be where I don't have to, although I'm pretty much always just the weirdo that you see on camera. I think all of us still put on just a little bit of like a personality. We all put on just a little bit of a personality for the camera. And even if it's just me, it's still a little bit louder than my typical self and whatnot. And I sat there wondering, what happens if I start doing this on Twitch? In the grand scheme of things, it just means I play D&D for one night of the week on Twitch, and then I still have my home game. But does it start bleeding into each other, where I perform on Twitch playing this D&D game, and then is it a little bit of burnout where I don't want to play D&D off stream? Or is it like I put so much into my home game that the Twitch game suffers? It's a scary thought that I've been struggling with. Thankfully, with the help of Mia, who's been an amazing just support through all of this, I'm playing the game. Like, I don't think there was ever truly like a situation that I wasn't going to play, but she pushed me and she's like, you need to do this. I think this is a really awesome opportunity and it's going to be so much fun. And the people involved are incredible. They are some of the like most amazing, just supportive people I've been able to find. And I'm excited because we're just a whole group of chaos. So it's going to be fun. But it did raise the question because, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, as streamers starting out, you need to ask yourself, what happens if I turn this hobby of mine into a job? Because if your entire life you had gaming, you had sewing, you had any of these activities that you enjoy that helps you relax, and that was your escape to be away from the world, what happens when you now turn on lights, you turn on the camera, you put it all together and you put it out there for people to watch? Are you prepared to potentially lose that feeling of like relaxation? I don't have an answer for everybody. I don't. I wish I did. I wish I could sit here and talk about that. Like, if you do this, you do this, you do this, you're going to be fine. But it's an honest question you need to ask yourself. I had to come to terms with it. I loved gaming. I still do. Don't get me wrong. I loved it though, because I was able to, after a hard day, hop on a console, hop on a PC and just game and just relax and escape. But now I do it for a living. And there is a little bit that's lost. A little bit. And I think everybody's different. I feel like I'm not working ever when I stream, honestly. Like, it's such a fun activity and it brings me so much joy and love. But there is work that goes into it. So are you prepared to lose that, like, maybe little spark of joy that helps you escape the world? Because once you're reading chat, once you're doing that, you're being on, you're performing, it's a tough question that I don't think a lot of streamers ask themselves when they first start out. I think a lot of streamers get mixed up in the whole joy of, oh, I'm going to stream and it's going to be so much fun. There is work that you have to do and you lose a little bit of your relaxation. If you're going into this like for a hobby and whatnot, I think it's definitely a different conversation. I can only talk about my own experience about this, of trying to turn this into a full-time content creating career. There's a lot of work. It's not just gaming on stream. There's, you wake up, you edit stuff, you worry about like, okay, what game am I going to play? What am I going to do? It turns it into a multi-step process every day. That does turn gaming into a job. I'm not as concerned with D&D turning into that. But what do I do when the Saturday game starts to just burn me out a little bit, potentially, if I'm playing D&D? I love it so much that I don't think there's ever going to be burnout with D&D. Like, it's just too much fun. And everybody watching this, I don't want you to think I'm mad about any of this, or I was worried. I messaged some of the people in the D&D group. I was just like, I'm giving you a heads up because I am going to make this video, because I don't want it, and hopefully it's not coming across at all, of me like dunking on this and being mad that I'm playing. But I wanted to hop on camera and really talk about just the worries I have about it. And it's a question you need to ask yourself if you're starting streaming, if you're ready to lose a hobby, because it no longer is a hobby. That's the truth. It's no longer a hobby once you start trying to profit off of it. So are you prepared to lose something that helps you relax? On the flip side, you love doing it. So getting to profit off of it is amazing. You're getting to earn money, earn anything like that off of stuff you love doing in life. And it's a wonderful experience. But it's tough, y'all. Really, it's tough. I'm worried. I am. I honestly am. I am worried. But it's been such a hell of a ride so far, and the people involved with it are so amazing that I know at the end of the day it's all going to be okay, and I'm still going to have my home game to enjoy and relax. But there is that concern. There is that concern, and it is a question you need to ask yourself. Depending on what kind of streamer you want to be, depending on what kind of content you want to put out there. Is it something you enjoy doing that you want people to see? Or is it something you enjoy doing because other people don't get to see it? Well, I think that's the video. Thank you all for watching so far. Again, if you're interested, Saturday the 8th, starting at 4 p.m. Again, link in the description to the channel. Over on my friend Thanks Internet's channel, we're going to be playing some D&D. It's the start of the campaign. You don't want to miss it because your boy plays a 7'8", 300-pound Firbolg barbarian who has become, his name is Fel, but after the one shot, he's become Daddy Fel. So if you're feeling like you want to thirst over some Firbolg barbarian magic, I did not think I was making a full-fledged thirst trap, but he's definitely become one. And I'm not gonna lie, I love it. I love it. I was talking to chat the other day about this, where I'm a normal person. I'm a normal human in real life. I don't want to be that in D&D. I am going to make my characters hot. I want them to be hot. I want them to be strong. And maybe it's a little bit of the stereotypical like male, like, oh, you want to be like muscular and big and strong and whatnot. I don't care. I want to play the characters I want to play. So yeah, I've built like just this giant, just mountain of a man who walks around shirtless. He loves flowers. Like, that's the beauty of this character that I love so much, is he's a botanist who loves flowers, but if you hurt nature, he will tear you in half without a hesitation at all. People have fallen in love with him, and that brings me so much joy. So if you want some Daddy Fel action, you can catch us on Saturday. And then after that, you'll be able to catch us every Saturday for 6 weeks straight. We're going to be doing 6 episodes, and who knows what's going to happen. We're such a chaotic group that it's going to be a wild ride to see, and hopefully we all work together well. Oh, it's going to be the most hectic, just wild ride ever, and I'm so ready for it. Thanks for hanging out, y'all. And I'll send you out with the besitos as I do. I love you. Appreciate you. And I'll see you Saturday for some D&D action.